Hi, thank you for coming to our session on support, support being one of the keys to weight loss surgery success. My name is Jessica Stockton, and I had RNY gastric bypass in February of 2008. So upon starting my journey, I had to go to orientation. And one of the things that the surgeon said to me that really stuck with me when I went to orientation was that those who go to support group and continue with support throughout their journey are more successful than those who don't. And so I've always tried to remember that throughout my journey. And in the times that I've fallen off, I've tried to utilize support to help get myself back on track. So that's what I'm going to talk with you about today. Just why support is key to your weight loss surgery success, the different ways that you can get support, and then how I've struggled in my journey and the way I utilize support to get myself back on track. And then at the end, I'd love to have a support group with you guys. So with that, I'm going to start with just the definition of a support group. A support group is a group of people with common experiences or concerns who provide each other with encouragement, comfort, and advice. And that alone sounds pretty inviting to me. Us as weight loss surgery patients, we're kind of going through something that we've never experienced before. We're going through something, our bodies are going through a lot of changes, and to go to a support group where weight loss surgery patients are there and they can understand what we're going through and get that encouragement, comfort, and advice is pretty inviting. But with bariatric support groups, a lot of times you have the included addition of the bariatric medical professionals there to lend medical advice as well and education. So with bariatric support groups and weight loss surgery, you have two components going on, right? You have what's going on up here and your surgery, okay? So that's why I love bariatric support groups, because you have weight loss surgery patients there to help you with your transition and all the things that you can relate with that the other patients understand. And then the medical professionals are there to help you with the surgery aspect as well. So why is support important to long-term success? Patients who attend support group can lose as much as 12% more weight. Can anyone guess why someone who attends support group might lose 12% more weight? Anyone? Raise your hand.
Somebody said accountability.
Accountability? Buddy system. Yeah, those are all great answers. You in the back? Motivation, absolutely. I think if you're going to fall off track, you're less likely to sit in that place for as long as if you're going to support group and you have the accountability and the motivation to get you out of that place. So you're less likely to slip into old habits. Provides a safe place with your peers to ask questions, your fears and frustrations. Weight loss surgery can be bring on new fears. People who are having surgery have a lot of fears going into surgery. And sometimes the new diet changes and lifestyle changes can bring on some frustrations. Temptations. So we had weight loss surgery, but a lot of our coworkers and our friends and family members, they did not have weight loss surgery. So those temptations are still all around us, right? So when you go to support group, you can get the reaffirmation of why you dedicated yourself to this new life and maybe get some ideas of how to resist those temptations. Depression and anxiety related to your new diet and lifestyle changes. Sometimes weight loss surgery can bring up some depression and anxiety that you didn't know that you had. I think maybe sometimes we've been stuffing those feelings down, or maybe the lifestyle changes can bring up some issues in our life that can bring up some depression and anxiety. So going to support group and learning that you're not alone in that, and that other people are having those experiences as well, can just let you know that you're not alone. Get some ideas and some tips from people and how they're dealing with that as well can be helpful. Or maybe the bariatric psychologist from your program is there to help you through those situations as well. Relationship advice. So I know I was guilty of saying that weight loss surgery wasn't changing me, right? I don't know what you guys are talking about. I'm still the same person. But weight loss surgery has changed you. You don't have the same habits that you used to have, same diet habits that you had, or maybe you're a little bit more confident now, and that can be a little bit of a threat maybe to those friendships or relationships with your significant other or spouse. So when you go to support group, you can get advice about that, or just help through those times. And then, like I said, most are moderated by bariatric professionals who can give medically accurate advice, because you don't want to be getting your medical advice from the average Joe online. So this is a chart I made from a statistic that I found online, that those who attend support group versus those who don't lose as much as 10% more body mass. And that alone makes me want to go to support group. So what can support look like? Because it can look different. Actual support group. So, not that one yet. So this is me at support group when I first started going. I'm in the lavender shirt there, shortly after I had surgery. And when I first started attending support group, my bariatric program didn't have a local program, so I went to a patient-run program. And it was very much the kind of program where, support group where we leaned on each other for encouragement, comfort, and advice. Us that were pre-op looked to those who were newly post-op or post-op to ask what it was going to be like. And those who were newly post-op looked to those who were a little bit further out. And we just kind of all encouraged each other and got advice from each other. And I met some really great friends that way. Now, my bariatric program does have a local run program, and it's professionally run. And a lot of times the nutritionist or the psychologist are there to run it, and there's topics. And there's never a time that I regret going, but I do find that it is geared towards those who are newly post-op or freshly, or pre-op, newly pre-op or pre-op or newly post-op. So I look to other ways to get my advice. I don't ever regret going, and I do always love to go because it gets me into that environment. But being 8.5 years out, sometimes I need a little bit more support being further out. So Facebook. If you are on Facebook, they do have private groups. They do have private groups on Facebook, and you can just type weight loss surgery into the search, and then click on groups, and you can request to join groups. And you might have to try a few out, and that goes for support groups as well. You might have to try a few out before you find that one that you like. Facebook has groups geared towards women or towards your specific surgery type. I know even our MC, Diana, has one geared towards the emotional side. I think it's called Weight Loss Surgery, the emotional side, because there's a whole emotional side to the surgery. So Facebook can be a great place. And what's great about the private groups is they don't show up in your friend's news feed or if you comment or post in them. So you can post in them anything that you're going through, any question that you have, and get an immediate response and get a great support that way. And then you guys already saw my picture here. A friend or a family member that's also had weight loss surgery. This is my best friend. We've actually been friends since the 1st grade, and we had weight loss surgery 1 year to the day apart from each other. And she's been a tremendous support, and even today, we'll still text each other and check in on protein or water intake, or if we're journaling. And don't underestimate those people in your life that have also had weight loss surgery. If you're having a hard time getting all of your water in, set up a water challenge with that person and ask, hey, can we text each other today? And let's get in 6 bottles. And after we finish each bottle, send each other a text, and that'll get you started. I can be very much kind of like a lay down on the sidewalk and die kind of person. If there's ever a zombie apocalypse, like I'm gonna die, because I will be like, I am done running, I give up. But she will pull me across that finish line, and I might die after I cross the finish line because, literally, but she'll get me to where I need to be. So I'm very lucky to have her. So don't underestimate, she's here supporting me today, but don't underestimate the friendships and the relationships of other people that have had weight loss surgery in your life. Obesity help. So you guys are all here today. This is like the mecca of weight loss surgery support. How many of you, this is your first Obesity Help Conference? Wow, awesome, that's a lot of you. How many are at 5 or more? All right, see, I asked because this is my 5th Obesity Help Conference, and I'm so excited to be here. These are great because you probably came with some friends, and if not, you're meeting friends, and at the same time, you're gathering a ton of information and education and learning about bariatric products. So I'm so happy that you guys are all here. ObesityHelp.com, if you don't have a sign-in, it's really easy to create one, and they have a lot of different forums with topics that you can post in, your question, or if you are struggling with something, and probably get like an immediate response. So ObesityHelp.com is a tremendous source for support. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about my journey. I know not all journeys are created equally, so this is just a little bit about mine. But basically, within the first 2 years, I was down to goal weight. I had lost the bulk of my weight within the first year, and I continued losing the second year. Kind of thought I had it all figured out, and I had fallen off going to support groups. I had been going pretty much weekly for a few years. And then life threw me a curveball, actually threw me 2 curveballs within a year apart. The first curveball kind of hit my extended family, and it broke us apart, and it knocked me down, and I don't think I ever fully got back up from that. I probably started emotionally eating at that point, and I didn't really realize it. And like I said, I didn't ever really fully get back up from that when the next year, life threw me another curveball that hit me more directly. And that curveball was an issue with my son. And I think a lot of you moms can probably relate. When something's going on with your kid, it's like nothing else matters. That's all that you can focus on. So I was focused on everyone but me. I wanted to make sure that my kid was okay, my family was okay, and the old habits came back. I was emotionally eating a lot of that anxiety and worry that I was having for my son. Some depression had come back. And I think that had I probably utilized some of the support with the bariatric psychologist that's on program with my bariatric program and learned to deal with stress and anxiety in a more healthier way, maybe I probably wouldn't have dealt with it that way and dealt with it in a healthier way. But I didn't, so I fell back into my old habit that I'd been doing since I was a child. I emotionally ate. And I felt like I didn't have time for exercise because I was taking care of everyone but me. I wasn't focused on my health, mentally or physically. But then what happened, kids are resilient. He was okay. And everyone else was kind of okay. My family was okay. But I started realizing that I still wasn't okay. I had fallen into the cycle of emotionally eating and didn't know how to get myself back out. And I think that a light bulb kind of came on for me one day that I was stuck in this 300-pound brain. It reminded me very much of my 300-pound self, because when I was 300 pounds, every day I'd wake up and I'd say, today's the day I'm going to eat healthy. I'm going to stop eating like this. I want to get back. I want to get on track. I don't want to be like this anymore. And I was doing the same thing. I don't want to feel like this anymore. I'm going to eat healthy today. I'm not going to emotionally eat today. But every day I was still doing it. And I really was scared because I felt like I couldn't get out of this cycle. So when it was the hardest, because I was really stuck in this cycle and I was depressed and feeling a lot of anxiety, I had to be my own advocate. So I reached out to the bariatric psychologist, the nutritionist. I made an appointment. I got back to support group, and I got online. And one thing that I want to share with you guys that the bariatric psychologist told me when I shared with her that I was feeling very stuck where I was at. And I didn't understand why I couldn't pull myself out again. she asked me, well, what were your reasons for wanting to have weight loss surgery? What were your goals? Why did you want to have weight loss surgery? And I said, well, I wanted to be a more active mom. I wanted to be able to go hiking and go running, and so we can still do all those things, right? And I said, yeah. So you're an active mom, you could still go hiking, you could still run. I said, well, yeah. She says, that's not going to work for you. So you're kind of in this gray area. You haven't regained so much that you can't do those things. So that's not going to work for you anymore. You're going to have to find new reasons. What's important to you now? Why don't you want to feel like this anymore? What's your goals? Because what worked for you at 300 pounds, that's not going to work for you anymore. So it did take going to the psychologist a few times. It wasn't instant, and I still continue to work on myself. But I was eventually able to pull myself out of that by utilizing the support that I had in front of me, going back to support group, getting online to those support groups as well, to be able to stop regaining and take off some of the regain. And so basically I just hope that I have expressed to you reasons why weight loss surgery is key to success. Support is key to your weight loss surgery success. And the different ways that you can utilize support, going to support group, getting online if that's not available to you. And if a support group isn't available to you with your bariatric program, you can utilize meetup.com to look for one that's available in your area. And you can get online to Facebook or to Obesity Help. And also a friendship or a family member that's also had weight loss surgery as well. And why support is so important to me and how it helped me through my struggles. And so now I want to have a support group with you guys because it is very important. We've all overcome struggle in our weight loss surgery journey, okay? It can be anything from here to here. It doesn't have to be so deep as me getting knocked down and my issue with my son. Maybe you hit a plateau for a couple of weeks, and how did you overcome that? Or maybe you signed up for a 5K or a half marathon and you had a struggle in that. But that's why we came today. We came to support each other and to share with each other. So I hope that some of you will share in a struggle that you had so that someone else can learn from that. Or maybe you're struggling right now and you need some help. So if you can, if someone wants to raise their hand, introduce themselves. If you want to move in closer, you can. But we have someone here that has a microphone as well. To introduce yourself, share a little bit about yourself. What's a struggle you've had in your weight loss surgery journey and how did you overcome it if you set goals? Or if you are currently going through a struggle and you just want to talk about that. Anyone? Yes. He'll bring over, oh, I'm sorry. Over here. There was a lady. If you could raise your hand again so he could see you. Thank you.
Okay. I kept my weight off for about 4 years. I was doing really good. And about a year and a half ago, about a year and a half ago, I lost my dad. On Christmas Day, we were expecting him to pass away. But you remember me, I was really thin. I was doing really good. But then my husband, 4 months later, got killed in an accident. So I lost both of the most important men in my life. I was married to my husband for 38 years. So I didn't care. Like you were saying, I can relate to what you're saying. You have all that stuff going on, you didn't really care, and you're just kind of like, the depression was so big, you're just kind of trying to keep yourself above water, you know. Right. I finally, about 6 months ago, I finally went on a very mild antidepressant, which helped me kind of get my nerves down a little bit. And I've gotten to the point where I accepted, the loss. And I've actually lost about 3 pounds.
That's awesome.
So,
congratulations for that.
Yeah, I'm on my way back. And I'm hoping, I want to lose about 15, 20 pounds and I'll be happy again. But
okay, great.
I didn't even want to come to this because I was embarrassed that I gained the weight because I went so long without gaining any weight. But I wanted to share that it's possible, even though you go through such tragic in your life, it's possible to turn it around, like you said, and pick yourself up again. And you said some key things today that helped me.
Thank you.
So I'm looking forward, and hopefully next year, I've noticed we're going to have one in Long Beach that I'll be skinny again.
Yeah.
So anyhow, here you go.
Well, and congratulations for coming. I think that's what's important to remember is we've all struggled, and regain is real. It happens, and so there's nothing to be ashamed about for that. So congratulations. You had something?
Hi, I'm Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
I've actually had 2 weight loss surgeries. I started originally with the lap band, which started out really good, and then I got hit with a double whammy. My mother got really sick with Alzheimer's and cancer, and my brother and I had to move her from Colorado back to California, and I was traveling 3.5 hours a day to get where she was located because we have nothing up where I am. And that was like 2.5 years of doing that, and I could not handle my eating, trying to take care of my mom, take care of my husband. Then my little dog got sick. I mean, it was like a cycle. When I lost her in 2013, 2.5 months later, I lost my little dog, and I was down in the dumps. I could not handle anything. I was starting to gain weight. Went back to the surgeon, and we took out the lap band and replaced it with a gastric sleeve. I'm down 94 pounds.
Congratulations.
And it's been very, very hard, but without the support I've had, I couldn't have done it. I would be back in trouble again.
Right.
And this is something very vital and very important to anyone who goes through that.
It is. Congratulations. Yes.
Hi, my name's Debbie also. I had the Roux-en-Y February 2014. 18? No, I didn't. I had it February 18th, 2014. I mean, I had it the same day. I had it in February a couple years ago. I hit my goal, but I haven't had any, thank God, nothing traumatic. But I have my mom and my sister and my 11-year-old niece that live at home with us. And that presents another set of problems because my sister is making chocolate chip cookies every weekend for her daughter's lunch.
That's the temptation.
And and you know what I'm finding is I can get away with a little bite here and a little bite there without consequences, which is really bad for your mind because your mind just is so friggin' powerful that it says, oh, you got away with that, try it again. So I'm struggling with that because I don't want to get in that point where I get depressed and put the weight back on. I want to stay where I'm at because I'm kind of happy where I'm at. So I'm struggling with that. I need help. I've been trying to put little Post-its like stop and think. Do you really want that? And my Dr. Steve tells me, because I'm starting to sneak things, like waiting till my mom went to bed and then I would go get a chocolate chip cookie and eat it. And I could justify it and say, well, it was just one. It wasn't the whole Ziploc bag full.
I've been there. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, so I was talking to Dr. Steve about it, and he says, you can eat it. Don't sneak it. Take accountability for it. Say, I'm going to have this chocolate chip cookie. Own it. And that will help empower me so it doesn't get the better of me.
I think
but if there's any other suggestions, I'm open to it.
Well, I'll say something, and then some other people. But mindful eating, like what your doctor said, own up to it. I'm gonna mindfully eat this cookie, and I'm gonna be aware of it, and I'm gonna sit here, and I'm gonna be aware of every bite that I eat, instead of hiding and eating it very quickly. And then also maybe buying yourself some healthy things that you really enjoy that kind of feel like a treat, but they're things that are on program and healthier that feel like a treat. Does anyone else have maybe some suggestions for her? Protein bars, right? Some kind of treat like on program. I mean, there's really no replacement for a chocolate chip cookie, right? Like a home-baked chocolate chip cookie is just fresh out of the oven, But if you can find some things like, I don't know what's really yummy, like sugar-free pudding, or that this new Halo ice cream. Has anyone else heard of that? That new Halo ice cream is really tasty. And for the whole pint, it's like 240 calories. Don't eat the whole pint, but like it's really tasty. I finally found it, and I was like, I'm gonna try this, and it's pretty tasty. But I mean, that's one of those danger kind of slider. It is a danger kind of slider food. But if you can serve yourself out into a little tiny dish, and have 3 or 4 bites of it, and be satisfied with that. And then put it in the freezer and save it for the next time, But it is tasty, but it is a dangerous slider kind of thing, just, putting that out there.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, you have the mic.
My name is Hilda, and I had my Roux-en-Y 2 years ago today.
Oh, congratulations, happy surgery.
And the issue that I had was the night of my surgery, my lungs filled with fluid, and I was dying.
Oh, wow.
But the nurses would not come check on me.
Mm-hmm.
It took my advocate to come check on me and move me to the ICU because they literally said I would have died that day. It took the support of not only my family, but my work family to get me out of that depression.
Right.
But because of it, I'm so worried about my brother and my sister because they are so overweight. My brother's diabetic, and we're just afraid we're going to lose him because he's so overweight, and he won't do it now because of what happened
Your
to me.
complications.
Yes. That was my issue, and just having support was what got me out of it.
Right.
My husband was so nice. I'm a teacher, and he went to my school and had the whole staff and my classroom sign cards for me for I could get out of it and come home.
Oh, good.
So,
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing with us.
Just going to touch on what you said about I'm almost 10 years post-op. And so I can relate with a lot of things that people said. You're embarrassed to come, you've had regain, look at your thighs, look at your butt, look at whatever. I think it's important to keep coming because I had those same insecurities. I'm coming for her, but I'm like, well, I kind of want to get something out of it too, But keep coming. And my advice for you would be stand up for yourself, because no one's going to stand up for you. If these cookies being baked in your home, okay, well then, yeah, that does. You know what? You got to stand up for yourself, and you have to set boundaries. And it doesn't have to be mean, but just this is not safe for me. This is my environment where I'm home. Home should always be safe. And if my kids, they don't drink milk now because I do not buy regular milk. It's almond milk or you starve. And it took me a long time. And I have big boys, and they like vitamin D milk. I cannot, I'm not tempted by vitamin D milk, but it's not healthy. And we already have so many temptations when we go out into the world, driving down the street, things flying in your car that you don't even know how it got there. So you have to have a safe place. You know what I mean? You do. You have to have a safe place. It's okay to say, I know you love me enough, and you want me healthy. And for me to be healthy, I need a clean environment. And I know that I can count on your support. And you know what? That just doesn't need to happen there. That little girl can have the cookies. Does the little girl even need you know what I mean? So stand up for yourself. It's okay to come and say, you know what? I learned something. This is not going to happen anymore. And I love you. And it's just, and you don't even have to go there. It doesn't even have to be about that it's tempting. It's not healthy. It's not a safe environment for you. And the sneaking, I'm going to tell you something. Somebody told me this a long time ago. about gastric bypass. I had RNY, and so she did too. And she goes, you know what? In the beginning, you can't eat. She goes, but in the end, she goes, you can eat a little bit all day long. You can still eat that burger, but it'll take you, you know what I mean? Like, those little bites, licks, and tastes will add up. And you're 2 years out, you fast forward that to 5 years, and then 7 years. And you have to stay close to something now, stand for something now. Like, I will not go to a vending machine. You will never see me go to a vending machine, ever. I may ask you to go for me, no, just kidding. But I will never go to a vending machine. No, that's my boundary. I'm not gonna do that. So create your boundary now while you're still fresh, you can still smell it, and you're still feeling good. Create that now and have that. Write it down somewhere, own it. That way in the future, you can look back, what was I doing that was keeping me accountable? What was I doing that was keeping me loving myself? Because that's what you have to do, is love yourself and take care of yourself. So that's it. I'm gonna drop the mic.
Right over. I think right over here. We'll get to you next, back there, okay?
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm from Highland, California. I had the RNY surgery, and February 18, 2014, the same day as Deborah had it. But I was the last patient to have it. Dr. Chin did my surgery, so did Dr. Cron. So I'm very happy I got the ring put on me. But last weekend, I was at my sister's church having a luncheon. They're having a lunch potluck.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I ate one hot dog and some nuts with walnuts and peanuts. I had an allergic reaction to it right away. Like, it's abnormal for me to have an allergic reaction to peanuts. The hospital thought I was allergic to peanuts, and I couldn't even remember what I ate, or like I ate the little Chinese pasta. I ate a couple bites of it, and all of a sudden, somebody was drawing numbers from the drawing, and I was going like out of it. Like, I was turning red, bright red.
Right.
It was Sunday, and I had to go to the hospital and get a shot here and a shot there for a reaction to it. And they told me I should not eat peanuts or walnuts or mixed nuts. Is it common to have a reaction to something that you never had a reaction to?
Well, I think you probably want to ask your doctor about that. That's why I say you should always refer to your medical professionals. But I know for me, things have changed medically, even from the beginning of my surgery, things that were okay for me to eat, 2 years post-op, I find that 8 years post-op, I can't eat it anymore, or I get a different reaction. So I think things change. You had gastric bypass, they rerouted your intestines, and your body's gonna have adjustments throughout your entire life. But yeah, I definitely think that you should, if you probably talk to the emergency room
next
doctors.
time I won't eat no walnuts.
Yeah.
Cashews, nuts.
But you probably want to talk to your primary care physician or your
My
bariatric
husband
surgeon
thought it
about
was
that.
something in the Chinese food I had.
Right.
But it could have been a reaction to that, or maybe something stung me that day. And
Something, right.
it was just like weird. I never
Very
had
strange.
I was bright red like I was in the sun automatically.
Right. Very strange.
I couldn't even breathe. I couldn't even talk.
Right. So I know I said we would get to this lady next and then over here. Okay. Sounds good.
I'm April. I'm 46. I had RNY December 18th of 2015. I want to encourage anybody that struggles with physical activity. I had a lot of health issues. I've had autoimmune disorders for 15 years, and I was extremely ill. My journey began September 11th of 2014. I had back surgery. And when you have back surgery, you have to lay on your stomach. So I was 266 pounds. And in the course of the surgery, all of my weight was on my lungs. My heart couldn't pump, my lungs couldn't. They almost didn't wake me up. They struggled with that. I was 45 years old, a single mom of a 19-year-old, and I said, Lord, I'm not ready to check out yet. And I had to measure for a back brace, and I'm only 5'4", and I went around, and my waist was 49 inches. So I was barely over 5 feet tall, and I was over 4 feet around. I was actually bigger around than when I was 9 months pregnant with my daughter. And I said, then this has got to change. And then finding a doctor that would even operate on me and do the surgery, and being on disability, and finding a doctor that would even accept Medicare to do my surgery. So that was September 11th of 2014. My surgery was last December, but October of last year on Halloween, due to my health and the medications I was on, I had to ride a scooter to do SeaWorld. I couldn't enjoy SeaWorld with my family. Had my surgery in December. I'm 9.5 months out. I've gotten discouraged a couple times when I've went to support groups because I see people losing 2 and 3 times way more than what I do. But I have to remember, I have physical limitations. I'm not the one, I can't go out there and do all the weights. Every time I go at the gym, I end up practically in traction or whatever. But it is possible. You just have to stay on track, stay encouraged. Even the Fitbit, I get excited. I mean, Some people are like, oh, I do 5,000 steps, I do 10,000 steps. I'm like, I move just enough so someone doesn't poke me with a stick to see if I'm still breathing. I mean, that's my reality. There are days. But each day, if you do 10 steps more than you did the day before, or if it's at night and I'm like, I didn't work out my arms today, there's a commercial on, and I'll do my little barbells. I have done 2 5Ks, so in this amount of time. My first was 6 months. I barely finished. It was July 4th. It was in Nashville, Tennessee. It was 88 degrees with 90% humidity.
I was just in Nashville. The humidity is
it was crazy.
Yeah.
And my daughter was the one that almost didn't finish. And I kept telling her, I have one goal today, to cross that finish line.
Yes.
And then we did. And then a month later, I did another 5K, and I knocked 15 minutes off my time. Because I told my daughter, you're staying home today. Mom's got to do this because it's all about me today. And so I knocked 15 minutes off time. I have been since diagnosed with MS, and I'm not letting it slow me down. It's take your vitamins, don't get discouraged, and give yourself all of those things of your non-scale victories. My first one was the first time I didn't have to buy plus-size clothing. The first time I walked into Kohl's, and my mom went that way, and I got to go that way. Hitting under 200 pounds. I don't know what my goal weight's going to be. I went from taking 13 medications to where I take 3. And that was instantly, like within 6 weeks of the surgery. Look at all the health benefits and just being able to not be on the sidelines, get back in the game. Even if, just laughing and joking around and playing with kids was just something before. It was like, I was on the scooter. I couldn't keep up with them at SeaWorld. Go to your meetings. I faithfully go to support groups. That's how I met Deanna. We actually have different doctors, but I go to 2 different support groups twice a month. Talk to people, hold accountability, join on Facebook, but just don't give up and don't compare your journey with somebody else, because everybody's journey is different. Yes. Some people I have a friend that, oh my gosh, she goes to boot camp 3 times a week. She can do all this, and I'm just like, I hope I don't get poked with a stick today. So, just whatever, even if it's taking 10 steps longer or parking 5 spaces back. If you're not ready to park at the back of the parking lot, just park 5 spaces farther than what you normally would. And it's each step, just don't give up, and you guys will get there.
I think there was someone over here, and I just want to, right over there. And I just want to reiterate that I think sometimes we all get caught up in comparing ourselves to each other, excess skin or how much weight we've lost, and we don't need to be doing that. Your journey is your journey, and don't compare your success to anyone else. I think as long as you're just trying to move forward, that's all that matters. Go ahead.
So my name is Kathleen, and some of you may have seen me at the registration booth. My first OH conference was in 2013, I believe. I had the sleeve in 2012 here in Orange County. I was 290, and now I'm down to about 175, and I'm pretty good at maintaining. Yeah. But after surgery, I was like this food Nazi. I put myself on this really strict diet, not a diet, but the food plan, because I meant business. And I really threw myself into exercise, and I think that's part of the reason why I was successful. And I'm kind of learning in the last 3 months that there's like the next level. And I'm not talking about your food plan or your water intake or your vitamins, but it's sort of like all the head stuff. And I'm having to deal with a very significant family issue, and I have made a decision to put myself in therapy. And I've had 4 therapy sessions.
That's awesome.
Thank you, thank you. I'm also very active in our support groups, so I truly get what you are talking about,
Yes.
and I'm really, really a strong believer on that. But I do all the other stuff many people here in the room do. I'm checking YouTube, I'm checking Facebook, because you never know when you need support, right? You might need it at 3 o'clock in the morning, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm learning through my this current issue I'm dealing with is I really thought I knew what it looked like, what kind of behavior you had to have to show yourself you were loving yourself, right? And I thought I had that down. I mean, I'm really good about getting my sleep. I'm really good about, like I was saying, the vitamins, the exercise, going to the dentist, paying my bills, all this kind of stuff, right? But I'm learning through my therapist that some of us who maybe had issues and we coped with food or whatever, there might be like another level for us to deal with. Mm-hmm. And so, like, I had this kind of like an argument with my therapist. She said, there are 2 things I want you to do. I want you to journal about a specific topic, which I'm not going to share because it's too private. And she said, I want you to do 2 things a week that are new to like soothe yourself. And she said, for an example, one of them could be getting some lilac and putting it by your pillow and, thinking about soothing and going to sleep. And I was like, no, I got sleep down. I got this. I got this. And I'm telling her, I do all these things to pamper myself. I love myself. Like, I get a pedicure once a month, and I'm just telling her all this stuff. And I go, this is a lot of money that you want me to spend. And I'm already paying for therapy, and I'm already cooking all my own food. Where am I going to find all the time to do all these things? And she looked at me and she said, you don't understand. You don't get it. What you are doing is baseline. Baseline, like the minimum. That's normal. Mm-hmm. And she said, you want to take yourself to the next level. I'm going to help you get there. This is what you have to do. And I was just exhausted thinking about all these things she wanted me to do. But I'm starting to do them, and I'm integrating them into my life again. And I'm learning that this is what loving yourself is. And it's really kind of, it was a real awakening for me, and I think there's going to be more to come. But I think some of us, when we think we're doing the right things and we're loving ourselves, I think there really might be a deficit. So you might just want to think about, are you really doing enough to love yourself the way you need to do that? Mm-hmm. So just my thoughts.
Yes. Over here. I'll take it. Yeah, it's challenging, but you really have to be your own advocate. And I think when you are being your own advocate, you have to look are you doing enough? I still probably have to look at that too, so thank you. Okay. 6 minutes.
Kathleen also. My journey started in 2009. I had respiratory failure. At the time, I was 350 pounds, went down to 310 because I was sedated for over a month. My highest weight was 394. I begged my doctor to help me get the surgery. Had to start with Weight Watchers. Got all that done. Mm-hmm. I finally got lap band in 2012, 4 years ago, September. Did good for first year, was kind of up and down. Second year I went down 248. I was a happy camper. Something went wrong. I started throwing up. No apparent reason. I'd bend over to pick something up, I'd throw up. Needless to say, they took the fluid out of the band. I shot up 66 pounds. It would not come back off. I was getting frustrated. I was taking it out on everybody. Doctors finally got together and decided, okay, we're going to have to do something about this. I got the sleeve on the 6th of this month. I'm 5 weeks out.
Oh, congratulations.
I'm losing approximately 1.5 pounds a week. I've seen changes in my boyfriend. He's, I don't know, just somewhat distant sometimes and sometimes not. But last week, my daughter calls me and says, Mom, I want to come home. She lives up in Delano. I'm like, okay, fine. We can do this again. They called me from Tehachapi, her and her boyfriend. Truck broke down. I don't need this. I really don't need this. Needless to say, my friend's husband took me to Tehachapi. 2 hours there. Packed up her little box on wheels. And they were squished into the back seat. So for the last week, I've got 2 other people in my house, and it's driving me crazy. There's 2 extra people. I have 5 dogs, 2 cats. The dogs keep me calm. Mm-hmm. My daughter and her boyfriend, not so much.
Right.
My daughter goes, Mom, can I borrow $20? Oh, sure, no problem. Where does she go? The donut shop.
Oh, yeah.
Mind you, I'm only 4 weeks out at this point. She comes home, she brings donuts into the bedroom. Look, Mom. No. Oh, wait, that's a Bavarian cream. I won't even go with what happened afterwards, but the cream was good at first. Took it out to my daughter, gave it to her, and the rest of the night I was in the bathroom.
Right.
Learned my lesson really quick. Told her I don't want no more junk food in the house. We will see. She got paid today. We will see what happens.
Right.
I'm hoping I don't come home on Sunday and find chips.
Right.
Donuts, not so much. Bavarian, I learned my lesson there. But sodas, they don't bother me anymore. I still crave them.
Right.
But I can do without them. My journey is just starting again.
Mm-hmm.
My surgery date on the 6th, when I weighed in at exactly 300 pounds.
All right.
They took the fluid out of my band on August 25th. I looked at the doctor and said, please don't, because I knew what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. And it did. I ate. I put weight on.
Right.
I was only up 5 pounds, though. I don't know how that worked, because I ate. But needless to say, I'm down to approximately 290. I didn't weigh in this morning, but so I've lost about 10 pounds since surgery.
Well, congratulations.